and welcome back to the almost fully completed new shop. I know a lot of you guys have been wanting me to get going on the D.VII, which is sitting down there on the bench, because we are at the stage of finishing covering. I've got the wings up there on a shelf. I've got the fuselage down here. Now, as I spin you around the shop, certain things are the same. My workbench is still the same because it works so good, there was no reason to change it. I did some changes with some of my stands. I've got one over here, I'll show you. It's on wheels, so you can move it around. And I also repositioned how my drill press is set up. So let me take you off the stand, give you a quick little run around, and then let me show you all the little things that will be taken care of, before work, after work, so I can go ahead and designate pretty much at least one full day a week into getting this plane covered. All right, as y'all can see, it's a one-car garage. When I was buying a house, I was looking for two. Ended up with one. And the reason why is because you can see how many LED lights I got on the ceiling. This was why it took me a while to get everything set up the way I wanted to. What I'm trying to do is get this thing so that normal camera height looking down, everything is very well lit. The walls are still too bright. That's white. I'm going to go ahead and you'll see it happen slowly throughout the next few videos. These are all going to be a light gray and just enough to get rid of that brightness shining back, because if I turn this camera around and I stand on this side, you can see back of my hand, or the front of my hand to you guys, bad light balance. So what we'll be doing in the beginning, we'll be shooting in this direction, just so that at least the white balance is better. All right, with the shop storage, I don't have a couple different locations to do it. It's all got to be in this room. So I do have two of these racks set up for stock and tools. You can see it's a mess. This is some of the stuff that's going to happen within the next couple weeks. That's the before and after work stuff I'm going to be working on. The stuff up front is just automotive. Finally, I have got my toolbox sitting in the same room as my shop. In the apartment for 20 plus years, that was sitting upstairs in the living room. Try explaining that to people. We went with a little bit smaller pegboard. I can add onto this. I just wanted to get the basics that I kind of really want to have here in close proximity if I need to go over and grab it. I still have a big open spot up there on the top, so that will eventually slowly get filled in. All right, now, for the bandsaw bench, bandsaw and the sander, I went ahead and I put casters on the bottom. So what we could do is we can just go ahead and wheel this thing out. So if we need to cut something, we can go ahead and pull it out and get it more out into the middle of the shop. And if I need to move it farther away, I can do it. It's now on wheels, and the wheels do lock. Let's go ahead and slowly push this back into position. And there we go. Now the drill press. It's a little bit lower than I wanted it, but hey, it is where it's going to sit. All I did is I came in, went into some studs, went ahead, and now hopefully you can see it. I got this thing hinged. So I got a piece of, it's a 2x4 that I cut. It had a certain amount cut off it, so we just said, let the heck, we're going to use it. So that's bolted into the studs, and then I just went ahead and cut this 2x4. Yeah, and I just did a little bit of a relief to go ahead and cut that piece of plywood and screw that into position. So as that goes down to the corner of the foundation, this isn't going anywhere. If I need to get it out of the way, I take that thing, I can slide it over there on the floor, and this will collapse up against the wall. So everything works out nice. Now on the fuselage, I've got to remember how far I went along with this thing, where it's at now. So I'm gonna have to watch a couple videos to see what I got done. If there was anything else had to be done. I think this one's ready to cover the way it sits. All the hardware for the fuselage is up in the top. The wheels, the lower, got to think about this one. I believe in this box is the lower wing, the elevator, the rudder, and I don't know, I got to go back and look because it's been like 8 or 9 months since I worked on this. I don't know if I did the ailerons. I must have done the ailerons because they're not on the wing. So see, I'm learning something new every day. So anyway, what I'll do is I got to go through and see exactly what I've got to do with this. And for those of you that are actually watching this and have built one of these before, this space between the horizontal stabilizer and the fuselage, they don't give you a clear declaration in the plans for it if that needs to be up against the side. So, and I think in real life, just for adjustability, I think that there was a small clearance between the two. So I'm going to get some confirmation with some people. If you guys know anything about this, if that gap does need to be filled, go ahead and let me know down in the comments. And the wings are sitting up there on the top. Everything, from what I recall, does look good. I just need to figure out if I might want to shave these things down a little bit, these little hard points. Up on the top, not much I can do about it, but I don't know if I want to shave this hard point out or just leave it the way it is. Because these wings are ready to cover. Like I've said in the past, I did the best I could to get straightened out what was a horrible mess to begin with. So pretty much when I came down to saying, hey, everything's good, everything was exactly where it needed to be on the fuselage with relationship to the thrust line and also with the angle of attack on the top wing in accordance with the tail. And as you guys do remember, I fudged with the tail and I also fudged with the top wing. So this thing should not have any issues with trying to climb out under full throttle. So that way it's not going to be speed dependent on whether it's going to fly level or if it's going to want to climb. So hopefully on that maiden flight we're going to find out how well I did. So there you go. So right now it is April 2nd. I will be back here in the shop on April 6th, which would be Thursday. So we can go ahead, pull the wings down, and let's get back to covering. See you next time. I'm back in the shop.